Before we begin today's episode, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by the hosts and guests on this podcast are their own personal views and are provided in their own capacity. All content is editorial, opinion-based, and intended for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Kyle, God dang it. I can't. Seriously. It's not enough that you call me out in every live. Like at this point, half of TikTok knows my kink.
Kylie, come out to play.
It's hot enough in this closet. Stop.
Welcome back to another exhilarating episode of the Silly Goose Society.
Hey everyone. So we are here today with a special guest that has become very near and dear to both of our hearts.
She's special, all right.
So we're just going to do, just a silly goose session with Kylie. Welcome, Kylie.
Hi guys. Thank you very much. What a way.
What a way to be introduced to the world.
Yeah. So that's me. Jingle a belt buckle and I come a running.
Well, Kylie, do you want to introduce yourself or say anything about your hobbies?
Oh, okay. I'm Kylie, and I met Kyle and Angie because of one of my hobbies. I found audio erotica in the fall of 2024 and joined some communities, and it's changed my life. And so that's what I do. That's my hobby.
And
Yeah.
Nothing's more erotic than our freaking podcast.
Okay.
Nothing really flips the switches. Like conspiracy theories, cryptids, what grinds your gears in airports, and rambling on for 4 hours on Halo.
I was going to bring up Halo.
To be fair, the algorithm brought you to me because you were being hot on the internet, and that's just what my For You page is.
Yeah, so
fair.
So let's talk about how we met, because it's kind of a wild story.
It is insane. It's magical insanity. It is magical insanity. So like I said, I found audio erotica. So my TikTok FYP is nothing but like Quinn and voice actors and men being hot on the internet. And the algorithm sent me Kyle's page, and I went screaming back into the Discord to the angels like, there's a hot leather daddy on TikTok. And
I found a toy.
Exactly. I was like, girl, I think one of my first comments, I tagged a couple people and I was like, I found our new playground. And because you are so kind and you let us be respectfully feral, when I saw your first live, I was like, when I was in your first live, I was like, girls, you've got to see this. And so they all just kind of flocked, and that live went from like 3 people to like 7 people or something like that. It would, and we all just kind of we just fell in love with your attitude and what you do and you being hot on the internet, and then we met Angela through you, and
yes, because I'm the one in the comments trying to keep all you feral ladies in check.
and good luck. God bless you. That's
God bless me for that job, because it gets wild.
That is a full-time job.
Cerberus.
And then we started talking to you about, I don't know, were you into audio erotica then, or were we the ones that were like, "Girl, you gotta check this out"?
No, I have listened to Quinn, some choice audios. No, and I think our FYPs are the same, hot guys on the internet. It just kind of converged into that. So yeah, we kind of met through, I think, talked lightly, through like the lives and, comments and messages. Several of you from the Angels, like, friend requested me, and, conversations kind of started. But then fate took another turn.
Oh yeah. I think it was Heather that talked to you about AJ, and
She did.
yeah.
Heather introduced me to AJ. Yeah.
And AJ is he is a Quinn creator and a musician, and I found him actually not well, it was probably a little bit of a combination. I was following Sleep Token and Ryan Mayers, who was my first introduction to audio erotica, and that's like a whole story in itself. But the first video of AJ's I saw was him doing a Sleep Token cover, and I was frozen. It was so amazing, and he's such an incredible vocalist that I was just frozen. And then I'm looking through his page, and I was like, this guy talks dirty too? It was I had to check the calendar. I was like, is it my birthday? Like, and he's British? Are you fucking kidding me?
What song did he do?
So I joined his community, and they've just become my family. And so we, of course, like, we had to put you on to AJ, and then you joined the Angels. We finally to it.
I joined the Discord server, and yeah, just out of curiosity, what was AJ singing of Sleep Token?
Okay, this is wild. I cannot remember because
mesmerized.
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember like the feeling, and it's because like after I realized like he was a filth talker,
You just glossed over just completely.
Well, I followed him immediately on Quinn, but then I went back to his TikTok and I watched every one of his covers that he'd done, anything with him singing. Because as much as I love filth, like the music will do it for me every time. Like that is, I love his audios. He's an incredible creator, writer, voice actor, editor, sound engineer. He's incredible. He has all the skills, but it will always come down to his music for me. That has always been the most significant part of like what he does and why I support him. So that part of my memory is jumbled because I went and I watched all of them. So I don't remember exactly the first one. Yeah. I just remember the feeling.
Boom, 1-4 for the music team.
And then musicians.
Musicians
are a problem
right?
for me.
Problem sounds like they're never mind.
I used to think that. I have a history.
So yeah, I joined the Discord server, and then on my end of the world, I had a lot of things kind of falling apart personally. I had these Sleep Token concert tickets, and there were some things that happened, and I was like, I don't want to fly halfway across the country alone.
Thank you for saying that, because I was just like, she's not going to message. No. You had Sleep Token tickets over halfway across the country. 2/3 of the way across the country.
Yeah. So I had Denver concert tickets, and had bought them with the intention of, going with somebody somebody specific, things didn't work out. And so, yeah, I was in a really kind of down emotional, that concert was so important to me. And then I had to I could probably sell them and make a lot of money off of them, at least get my money back, right? But I had already, had already bought the plane ticket. Plane ticket wouldn't be refundable, all that stuff. And so Kylie and I talked, pretty heavily about it. And, I think, I can't remember. I put a message into the Angel Discord server about my situation, and I just kind of, I don't know, I think I just needed some girl support at that point in time, because that community is so lovely and everyone's so kind and supportive, and I think I just was kind of a low moment, and then it just magically happened.
I think that you had been that was your first night in the Angel Discord, and it was in a half hour I had booked a flight. You mentioned it, and I mentioned that in April I flew to London for an Angel meetup to meet all of my new best friends and AJ and John. And right before that, the tickets went on sale, and I had my laptop open. I was in the queue, and I was in this about $1,000. These tickets are not cheap. And and I had an adult moment. I was like, girl, you're about to go to London. You do not need to be spending this money on these tickets. And so tears kind of running down my face, I closed my laptop and just said, if the universe wants me to go, it will provide a way. Yeah. And then, and that was my mantra every time I got sad about it. Maybe I'll find some resales or something like that. And then you came in the Discord that night and said that you had tickets. And I believe I told you that story that I was in line, and then I thought better of it. And then you said you had an extra ticket, and I was like, do not play with me. And you said, dead fucking serious. And I opened a tab on my laptop and went shopping for tickets right then and there. Right then and there. I was like, this is it. The universe has provided.
Yeah. And I, I had known, I mean, I didn't know you to the level that I know you now. So it was very interesting. I can remember telling Kyle about this, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna have the best time."
I was fucking stoked. I was doing everything I could tooth and nail to keep your mindset that no, you have to go to this. Is it going to be, if you had to go by yourself, is it going to be scary? Yeah. Well, probably massively scary for sure. It might rank. But you have got to go. I really, really knew how much it meant and what it would do.
Oh, you would have kicked yourself if you had not gone.
Yeah, if she had not gone, I know it wouldn't have helped. Like you said, yeah, that was a rough time. That was a bit of a rut there. And I was like, she needs this. She absolutely needs this. This needs to help her. So I was just for the love of fuck, go. And then she was telling me everything, and I literally, I read that message, and I was just, thank God. I was so ecstatic. I almost did a fucking backflip.
Oh, that is so sweet. That is.
And then there was more conversations back and forth where it's just well, with this, I don't really know. I was like, listen, I don't know her. I know her just as much as you do. He's like, you probably know her a little bit more than me, on a personal level. And I was just I'm not getting any kind of bad feelings or whatever. I was just let's just be very honest with her. She seems like a very straightforward person. So he's like, hey, I promise I'm not a killer. If you're a killer, just wait till after the concert.
That was the deal.
I won't fight. Yeah. I won't struggle. No, nothing. I'll help you pick out a spot to hide my body. Just kill me after the concert.
After the show.
Fine.
And
we did have that conversation. I was just like, listen, if you're a serial killer, then can we just both agree that we'll kill each other after
the concert?
After
I do
the
you,
concert.
you do me. Call it that, right?
Yeah.
I am a really cautious person, and for a long time, a rather fearful person. So the fact that I didn't even question this, I did not question. I had absolutely zero qualms about flying to Denver, doing the show, and sharing a hotel room with you. I was like, this was meant to be.
And so, I mean, we had talked a lot before, just getting to know each other, and I think getting more and more comfortable, even though I think innately felt comfortable.
Yes.
It was just conversations, and then we had never met in person. And then I remember getting to the hotel, knocking on the door, and you opened the door, and and I'm not that much of a huggy person, but like we just hugged, and we're just like jumping up and down, like, like we've been friends forever. It was the most natural meeting a person for the first time I've ever had.
It was like I'd always known you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little follow-up to this story.
Uh-oh.
So there was an angel meetup in April, but there was another one the end of September. And I went to that one, and I told AJ then, I said, I get to go see Sleep Token in a couple of weeks. And actually, like, I think at that point it was maybe a couple of days, because it was like a week or something.
Yeah.
And I said, you're going to love this story. Like, angel magic totally happened. And I told him like how we had met and that you had joined the Discord. And he was like, no, I saw that. So because AJ will like, he'll read the chats. And he was like, I watched that happen. And I was like, you are kidding me. Like he knew exactly what I was talking about. And I can't remember if I ever told you that before. That he
Yeah, you told me about that.
That he watched the whole thing happen. I was like, so anyway, I'm going, fool.
You got like a little bag of pop or crisps, whatever the fuck they call them, or else they kind of a bag of crisps and then Nessie just sat there and just watched it all happen in front of him. It was fantastic.
Bag of crisp in his little jumper.
One of those jumpers.
Thanks, AJ, for making Sleep Token happen for the both of us.
Yeah.
Honestly, without the feral vibes of both AJ and Kyle, although different but the same, none of this would have ever happened.
Yeah.
So thank you both to the men in our lives. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Question mark?
Kyle, thanks for being hot on the internet and making it onto my FYP.
Oh man,
me doing dumb shit with leather and buckles on the internet will be like a single stone that causes an avalanche.
You flapped your wings and caused a tsunami.
I don't know about that, but you know what? We're gonna leave that alone. We'll leave that one alone.
Phrasing, we're just gonna walk on through that.
Just gonna moonwalk on out of here.
Y'all, you should see me right now. I'm trying so hard to be good.
Good girl. There you go.
Hey. Whoa.
There you go.
I will be clipping that. And I think that's going to be my new notification tone. So thank you.
Oh, not this?
Wait.
Oh, do it both.
Do that and the good girl.
It'll be just like an audio.
No. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
For Christ's sake. I was going to buy a belt anyway, so...
Okay. No, see, that's the pressure on all that kind of fun stuff.
It has to happen organically.
Okay, hold on.
Orgasmically.
There you go. Thank you. Good girl.
Oh!
Is that better?
That was great.
There you go.
That'll do. That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do, slut.
Oh shit! I'm clipping that one too. That might be my ringtone.
That'll do, slut. Like a meeting or something like that. That'll do, slut.
My mama calling. That'll do, slut.
Oh, God. I don't even do it on purpose.
AJ's server has over 800. And at one point in time, when the first really big influx was happening, I was trying to befriend everyone. And so I've heard so many stories about the healing, the reshaping of how they feel about themselves, their bodies, and what they deserve in the realm of pleasure and just what they're really upping their standards on what they expect from the partners in their lives and finding their voices. And it's been the most unexpected part of all of this since getting involved. I've got friends that have started like whole new careers or side gigs. I have so many friends that are writers and they're actually making some money at it. And I have other friends that have started VA work, and it's been really, really incredible to see.
And I also want to say, Quinn does have a very wide variety. So you have some creators on there who just like read poetry or just tell like soothing, their voices are just soothing to like help you go to sleep or help you stress manage. It's not, I mean, like I said, there's a whole spectrum. So you can go like you need that calming voice to just kind of help you de-stress and you just want to hear a good story. You can get that. If you want to go completely like balls to the wall, like completely filthy, you can get that as well. But I like that variety because,
it's the spice of life.
But I think like you said, a lot of women can go there and figure themselves out.
I know that's what happened for me.
So I don't want to I don't, if somebody's listening to this and like interested in Quinn, I don't want people to think that it's all just, smut.
Right.
There's a wide variety of things that you can find. And there's a wide variety. There are, male creators, there are female creators. It's a whole spectrum.
Yes. And AJ's first safe for work sleep aid that he did is called Leora and the Firefly. And it's one of his most played. And it became like kind of precious to the community. And so precious that when AJ reached 250,000 plays, he got several tattoos representing the audios he had done up until then. And one of them was a firefly, and he got it on the side of his neck. And now I think over 30 of us have that matching tattoo. I've got it. And it's just kind of this really beautiful, wonderful story about a girl realizing that she doesn't have to be anything other than herself. And the line in the story is, she was perfect just as she was. And that I put those words on my tattoo with my firefly. So, and all of us kind of have a little different take on the firefly. Some are exactly like AJ's, and some have like added little bits. And so it's really cool to have like this matching symbol of our friendship with my friends all over the world.
That's really cool. I like that. It's sweet.
Yeah. Fireflies are cool. They're cute.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of audio erotica being so much more. It's about the comfort, the connection, and the connection to not only another person but also to yourself, because there's so much that over the years I didn't realize I was suppressing, because I had in my mind that I had to be a certain way. Like, Kyle, did you know that I was born and raised Mormon? Did you know that?
I did. I think you told me that.
Yeah. So, and I didn't actually leave the church until probably about 5 years ago. So my entire life, my entire marriage and being a mother, like I felt like I had to be a certain way, because to be a good mother looked like this, and she did these things and she didn't do these things. But now that my children are grown, and finding audio or erotica, it like completely changed my view of myself, of sex, and it's given me permission to bring out these things, and to speak them publicly and loudly and proudly and without shame. That
Hell yeah.
I like belts.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, really like.
I like belts, and I'm going to say it loud and proud.
I'm going to belt it out, no pun intended.
Oh, no, and I get that, because, I was raised in a pretty oppressive
cult.
and I hate to use the word religion, because it really it's a cult. And so, like, when you're in these high control groups, and I will, we try to stay away from like a lot of religion and politics stuff, but there are a lot of religions that are high control.
Correct.
And then you have then you up the game with like the J-dubs, the Mormons, the what's the ones that Tom Cruise is involved with?
Scientology.
Saints, yeah. I mean, those, you go up such a notch, and when you're immersed in that or raised in that, and I think it's harder for people who are raised in those environments than ones that maybe came in later and then left, because your whole world is centered around that core beliefs and the people that and the people that you're allowed to associate 100%.
With. Yes.
And so when you leave that, you have to leave everybody that you've ever known. You have to leave family behind. I have family that don't talk to me, that pretty much treat me as if I don't exist. My daughter doesn't exist because we left. And so, that's such a psychological thing that you have to go through.
Oh, it is a mind fuck. Yeah.
And then on top of that kind of specific trauma, you really don't know yourself. You don't know yourself in terms that you've never been allowed to think, or if you had those thoughts or, wondered about things, you had that guilt. Oh my God, I'm not going to have, whatever deity's favor,
the guilt and the shame.
Yeah, the guilt and the shame is real. So
soul crushing, and that is what keeps you in line.
Mm-hmm.
And like that is what kept me from exploring like all of these other parts of me, and it kept me afraid. And it's been a lot to try to disentangle myself and rewire my brain and my thought process, because I know it's always been in here. I've always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
But my family, the people who knew previous Kylie, they're thinking that this has come out of nowhere and that it's because I'm listening to this filth and these filthy people who are my friends online, that it's their bad influence. No, it's always been here. I have just now allowed myself to bring it to the surface and to be okay with it. And because it is okay. Like there is no shame in wanting to be spanked. just if you like it, you like it.
Yeah, there's a t-shirt idea.
There you go. I've been taking notes the whole time.
But I think, like, even for me, it went so, like, just to kind of, like, put it in another context, like, even, like, I went down a rabbit hole of, like, exploring, well, what is this universe really made of? If this is a lie, all of this stuff that I've been taught about how the universe works,
yes.
What else is out there? So, like, I started getting into, like, the paranormal, and it was something that I was always, like, even little, I can remember, like, I was always fascinated with, like, Halloween and, do ghosts, and they're just like, we weren't allowed to celebrate any holidays, so Halloween was definitely off the table.
Right.
But, like, I really went hard into, like, going into figuring or experiencing paranormal stuff and going on explorations and ghost hunts and I love it so much because it just opens so much more possibilities about what happens after death, because you're taught a certain thing. You die, if you have good favor, you'll be resurrected at some point in time. But if you're not, then you're just dead forever. Like, is that true? Is it not? What are ghosts? What are, these, and there's phenomenon that happen, but I was never allowed to explore and think about that because that's wrong. That's demonic. That's, so even stuff like that, there was just such a freedom to be able to go and explore even stuff like that. Be able to watch, like, Harry Potter and not feel guilty about it. Being able to, watch a paranormal investigation show and not feel guilty about it. There's so many layers. This is an onion conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't it great?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ghosts and aliens, that's where I initially went straight into those. That was my, I don't know. That was my erotica. that was my discovery period.
Look, I don't kink shame. If you into it, that's none of my business. I'll take a look at it. If you think it's good, I'll see.
Well, I mean, there is Mothman, and he does have a dump truck.
Ghost and alien erotica. I'm just picturing some, like,
no.
Wait a minute, your leader so he can see you take your pants off.
Okay, that's actually a thing. There's a couple of audios that do involve ghosts.
Oh,
that's
my
a
God.
thing.
No.
So, but, like,
I don't cross those streams, but there are streams.
the ghost
they get close. They get close.
The ghost and paranormal thing, I've always been interested in that, and I think it goes back to the original Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. Watching that as a kid.
Oh, yes.
That was, like,
knew?
that theme song scared the shit out of me, but I could not stop watching. And that's where my love of, like, aliens and Roswell came from, because they would cover stories on there. They actually did cover Roswell, and my love of true crime.
Yes.
Yep. When I surprisingly enough, I was a very unusual child.
No.
Yeah. Right. So I spent a lot of time in the public library, and I would always come back with true crime books. And, like, I got hyper fixated on Jack the Ripper. And
hell yeah.
to the point that my mother was like, "Are you okay?" Like,
you need to go to extra church.
Right. Yeah. So, but like the paranormal thing, like I guess Mormonism isn't quite as strict in that regard. Like it's okay to like think about the paranormal and that like ghosts aren't necessarily all demonic. Like it could just be your grandma, you know.
Oof.
Which look, my grannies, the reason I can cook good is because my grannies speak to me in the kitchen and they just let me know. I don't measure anything. I wait for them to tell me.
Yeah, no, the J-dubs, oh my God. Like, no, you can't think about any of that. All of that is wrong. I will say with Unsolved Mysteries, like that music still is like almost Pavlovian. Like when you hear that music, you're I think like your spine stiffens a little bit, and
it's eerie as fuck.
And then hearing Robert Stack's voice, like you knew that you were in for a good story. Like that
small quiet town just north of Albuquerque. Like he's just ready for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I missed that show.
You know
when they did the like soft reboot they did on Netflix, I thought was really good.
They did.
Yes, I have been really enjoying it. I mean, it's not the same.
Oh, girl, that's just on Netflix. It's not exactly the same.
Good.
Honestly, what's his name has passed, and I thought the song's still the same. There isn't really like a narrator or like a storyteller, if you will. They just kind of have it play out like a true crime documentary, and they still have the same interviews that happen. It's a little different, but I think it's just as good. I think it was a smart choice to kind of go that way, a little bit more like kind of how true crime documentaries happen, because like that's the rage. They know how much people fucking love those things. Mm-hmm. So they kind of have it going, but they pay just enough homage, like I said. So it's still called Unsolved Mysteries. They still play the song in the beginning, and as they're doing like a little title, whatever the hell, and they show like, whatever the hell, like clips of shit from like the episodes, and they're the opening credits. There it is. They do like a very faint of you guys had his name like 10 times, but the original host of the show,
Robert Stack. They kind of show his face a little bit there. It's really cool. I think they did a really good job with it. Totally agree. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Gorillas on Netflix. You better get on that shit.
I know. I had no idea. There's a lot of things on Netflix that I feel like I'm missing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Everyone can totally miss the last season of The Witcher. Go on.
Listen. That show is dead to me now.
Oh, yeah. Hollywood, they acquire these properties that already have like rabid fan bases, and then the hubris in Hollywood is such that they go, you know what? We can make this better. You know what? Please don't. As a fan, I like it already. Quit fucking with it, man.
I know. I think that's what it is. It's not so much that there's like they think they can make it exactly that. It's them thinking they can make it better. It goes, why are you making more work for yourself? You already have a fucking script. You already have everything. Just fucking tell the people how to act. Like, do that. Like, why are you going to do that? Why you do?
So there is a streaming service called Passionflix, and it is founded and run by Tosca Musk, and they are doing it right over there. It is completely dedicated to taking romance books and making them into film. And the scripts are like 85 to 90% like book accurate. They follow it. The lines in it. I've heard the actors say like you don't ad lib on a Tosca movie because it's not in the script, because it's not in the book. You don't make up lines. And they acquired the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, which that actually is involved in my trajectory to finding Quinn. I was in like a terrible mental state the summer of 2024 because my youngest child had graduated She's my only daughter, and she's my daughter. I love her. She's like my everything. And I thought that she, like, because the economy sucks so bad, I thought her and her boyfriend, like, there's no way that they'll be able to get out on their own very soon. And that's like, so even though she graduated, I was like soothing myself with that thought. Well, you never bet against my son-in-law, because a month after she graduated, they were out. He had them an apartment. And I was like, she's gone. And so now all my children are grown. And when you've been a stay-at-home mom and you, like, this is your life and like basically my career, I was like, I am out of a job. I have no idea who I am right now. So I like really hit this depression. So I retreated back into my beloved books. And I've been reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood series for 20 years. And there's like over 40 books in the series. And it's just like my favorite thing ever. And I found out that Passionflix had acquired the property and that J.R. Ward was finally like this was happening. Back in the back in like the early 2000s, when I first started reading these books, I was in her message boards on her websites, and we would always ask her, like, when are we getting a movie? When are we getting a TV show? And she always said, I've never found the right place to put it. And like, this was her fear, is that if she turned it over to Hollywood, they lose. Hollywood acquires the property, and then they cut out the creator. Like, it's ours now to do with what we want, and you can take your check and go fuck off somewhere.
Yeah.
And she didn't want that, because like, this is her life's work. These characters are just as important to her as they are to us. So I found out that like it was finally going to be a series, and I started getting more involved in Instagram and Facebook. I know these books and this series backwards and forwards, so people would ask questions, and I would have the answers. You know, on page 273 in book 5, this is where he says this.
Nerd.
Fully. There's a reason we're friends, baby. You can smell it on me.
But I think for writers, that's so important, you know, that I think, yeah, you probably have some writers, because of a bad contract or whatever, they get cut out. But I think it's so important for writers, for if it's going to be adapted, that it's done the right way. Like, for instance, you know, let's take Lord of the Rings, right?
Right.
How well that was done. You know, they did the books correctly, I feel.
And with what he cut out and what he added made all the sense in the world, because like he was like, I've seen the commentaries, the interviews like 100,000 times, just as much as I've watched the actual movies. And people got really pissy when Tom Bombadil was cut from the movies and whatnot. And he was just like, is he an amazing character? Is he a beloved character? Yes. He goes, but the story we're telling is the Ring's journey with Frodo from such and such to so and so. Tom Bombadil didn't do anything to that story. He was just kind of like levity. He was fun. He goes like, he only did stuff that was pertinent to the actual story, you know. And then okay, then not only do you have Frodo and destroying the ring, but you know, Aragorn becoming the king again. So the other little stories that went, they all still fed into the main. You see how they always connect back to one another.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Everything's happening with Faramir or whatever. Well, everything's happening with Faramir and his bullshit with his family because he met Frodo in there, and that's going to be him defending Gondor. It all ties back in. Everything. And even with honestly, the elves at Helm's Deep, that was just added for dramatic effect to make the battle even cooler than it already was in the fucking books. But, like, he gets a pass because that's arguably some of the greatest cinematography you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
One of the best battle sequences you'll ever see in a goddamn movie. So, exactly. Everything was... We won't talk about The Hobbit, but... like, he did it right, because as long as they can keep, like the eye on the prize, like the main goal, like the actual idea in... I think we've talked about it a couple times before, and I think that's why I'm afraid and I don't want them to do an actual Red Dead show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to try to take Red Dead 2 or Red Dead 1 and turn it into a show or a movie or whatever, because you know a lot of stuff is just going to get cut. And of course, everyone loves the main story, the bulk of it, those characters. But there's a lot of the small shit that would get cut. Like, let's face it, even if it is an episode, do you know have you any idea how much of like Lenny, like that whole mission will get cut because it's not important to the story? Or even another one that will absolutely get cut when Hosea and Arthur, they go to the thing in Rhodes and they just give out all the liquor. Hey, it's my boy Fenton and he's pouring the drinks and all. That whole thing would get cut, but that's just fucking great. So I think you just get the same right. You get the same people who wrote that. Just write something different. Just make another Western and do that.
Yeah, I think something like that would have to be like, you're never going to make fans happy with a game like that. I'll tell you, I'm really nervous. So there's a book series that I'm like obsessed about right now, which is, I'm trying to get Kyle obsessed with it. The Dungeon Crawler Carl series. But Seth MacFarlane's production company has bought the rights to it. And there's like, they're going at it in a couple different streams. They're going to be making like an animated series based on the books, but then they're also working on a live action. These books are so wild. I don't know how they will do a live action. I have no idea conceptually how they would build this world in a live action. So it really, I hope that, Seth MacFarlane loves these books as much as the fans do, and listens to the writer, listens to Matt Dinniman, listens to how the audio books are presented and does them justice. I'm really nervous about it though, because man, Hollywood can really fuck things up.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
that's where Passionflix is getting it right. They actually have the authors on set. There are things, because it's a fictional world and it's about vampires, and there's this whole other language that she's created. They have her on set for pronunciations, for like, hey, we can do it this way. How do you think they would interpret this, and asking her as they're filming, which is the right way to go. It's her baby. It came from her. Like, she's the one who sees this in her head. They consulted her on casting, on costuming, makeup. Like, she had the final say on all of it. And
God, I hope that happens with Dungeon Crawler Carl, because Carl and Princess Donut need their day in the sun. I would die for Princess Donut. I'm just saying, I would die for Princess Donut, the Queen and Chonk. I would die for that cat.
The fucking fictional cat. She was like, I will literally murder scores of people for this fucking thing. This is hysterical.
Oh, she's so well written and so well voice acted that it is exactly, if a cat could have sentience and talk, it's exactly how a cat would be. 100%. 1,000%.
Kind of cunty, usually plotting someone's death.
Yeah, like she's kind of prissy, but she also like really enjoys going into battle. Like, she really enjoys it. And she will use like all of her little magic potions and her lasers that she gains throughout the story. And, her pet velociraptor, Mongo, she will, use him to cause damage. But she won't use her claws. She doesn't like to get dirty. If she gets muddy or anything, she just, has a complete hissy fit. She's very particular on, how Carl looks, because again, this is like, it's a it's a TV show that, like a reality dungeon show that is shown to the whole of the universe. So when they go on like talk shows and stuff, she's very particular about all this stuff. But man, she really likes to fuck up some trolls. She's bloodthirsty, and she's so like sarcastic, and she will not think twice about like throwing out some insults to people. One of my favorites is, okay, I'm going to go on a little rant here. So they have like a player status bar that only they can see. And so they're able to, with their mind, like have chat functions back and forth. So when they first gain this ability, Princess Donut is like typing in all caps all the time. We know what all caps means, right? You're yelling, right? Mm-hmm. She won't stop doing it. She will not stop. She will not stop. And this one guy, his name is Rasand, and he's like, can anyone tell this cat to stop typing in all caps? And she's like, why didn't your mother stomp you back on the truck stop bathroom floor, Rasand?
Oh, gee. That's amazing.
It's just, oh my God, she's just so snarky, and I love it. She's written absolutely in the font of a cat.
I love it.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many good characters. There's a goat who kind of gets into a similar. He comes down with his owner into the dungeon. He gets the potion to gain sentience. His name is Prepotente.
It's the greatest name ever.
He's a screaming goat, and he's very emotional. He also has like this aristocratic, like English accent. But then like he'll get all emotional and he'll just scream like right in Carl's face. And yeah, it's just, there's so many good characters. They meet up with there's a deity, and she's like a minor deity, and she lost her physical form, and somehow like her spirit or essence ended up in a severed sex doll's head. And her name is Samantha, and she is quite literally one of my favorite. She is so freaking funny. But she's
Okay,
this deity deity that rolls around in this rubber head, and she's so freaking funny. And she's always like, don't make me mad or I'll kill your mother. But she has like this Russian accent. It's so great. It's so great.
The TikTok you sent me the other day of like the Dungeon Crawler Carl, but it's scenes for Booklet 99.
Yes,
it's just hysterical, fucking hysterical. the ones of Princess Donut was so funny. When Holt's watching the dog show, you know what that's code for. So, bitch.
Yes,
it's the fucking best.
Exactly. So I've made Kyle listen. So the voice actor, Jeff Hayes, he's phenomenal. He does I'm going to say at this point in book 7, he's got to be upwards of 20, 30 different voices that he's doing for this whole book series. It's wild, his talent. And so, but he was able to take the books, and I'm not sure if he owns it, part owner or something, but it's Soundbooth Theater. And they take a lot of different book series, and they'll voice act, but they will also put in special effects noises, background music. It plays more, not like an audiobook, but kind of like a movie that you're listening to.
Even just literally the first fucking like 10 minutes of the very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
You hear like the joystick clicking around and like the whatever of the game in the background. When he goes outside, the very faint like whirling of the wind, and you literally hear the snow, like the crystals of like the snow falling and shit like that. Like it's insanely subtle, but it develops so much. Like, that's just the first 10 minutes, and the amount of detail alone that you get that isn't just his voice is insane.
I love a cinematic audio like that. There's
Kylie, you have to
really good editors out there.
You have to listen. You have to get on the Dungeon Crawler Carl. In fact, there are like I've seen like a lot of TikToks where women.
Where is it?
It's on Audible.
Okay, all right.
And but you can go to soundbooththeater.com, and I think like the first episode, which is I want to say like a couple hours, you can listen to for free, just to kind of get you hooked, and get you introduced to the series. They offer the first episode for free. But I've actually seen a lot of TikToks, women who have been like, they read the spicy romance kind of books, and like every now and then there'll be like, we need a palate cleanser every now and then, so like we'll read something out of that genre, but then they're like, I thought I was getting into just a palate cleanser, but now I'm totally obsessed and I can't get back into my romance novels because this series is so phenomenal. It really is.
Oh, well, I will check that out. Okay, so you guys talking about voices made me think of something, and I have a question for you, Kyle. So my Audible library is huge because it's like 15 years old. And like 95% of my books are male narrators. And I just gravitate more towards the male voice. And I'm kind of like that with music too. I prefer male singers. Mm-hmm. So my question is, are you guys like really particular? Like, I'm straight up snobbish at this point about my narrators.
100%. I will ding. Yes.
For me to have a female narrator, it has to be either an exceptional story that I want to read. Like the book has to be exceptional so that I can like get over the female voice, or she has to be an exceptional like female voice. And there are some on Quinn that are truly remarkable. Alice is one that I love her voice. Hers is really great. And
I will tell you, if I tune into an audiobook and the narrators sound like they could work at NPR, I'm clicking out of that. No way. No. I need my narrators to be actually acting. You know what I mean? Like,
what if Bobcat was narrating?
Oh, well, you know what?
Wait, did you just say Bobcat?
Yes.
As in, Goldthwait?
So what he did is put his I can't even finish it.
Are you talking about the comedian?
Bobcat Goldthwait. Yeah.
Goldthwait. Oh my God. I used to do impressions of him when I was little. I loved him. I absolutely loved him. And my family would always be like, Kylie, do Bobcat. Do Bobcat.
Do it.
I don't think I can do it anymore.
Oh God. It has become one of the most simplest joys in life, is having Kyle just burst out into Bobcat Goldthwait in an episode.
That's amazing.
I think the very first one was the best one, though.
Oh, God.
Because I think it was the very first time I've ever done an impression of him. I swear to God.
Yeah, we were talking about how it's made.
Yeah, we were talking about narrators and things like that when it's using voices. So I was like, it goes, it only works with like that guy's voice is one thing. People talking about narrators this and narrators that because you can't have a voice like, I was like, and I said, it goes, because I never remembered his name. I literally just learned his name because of that episode and all that. And I was just like, the guy from Police Academy, and you fucking knew exactly who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows. It goes, the guy with the fucking voice. In what movie? Police Academy. Everyone, not the guy with the noises, the guy with the voice.
The voice, yes.
He did another one called One Crazy Summer.
Oh my God.
With John Cusack.
Yep.
What a flashback memory.
I loved that movie. I think that's the one where he did the bit like, we're from the planet of the toes. And we bring you produce. I think that's where that bit came from.
Oh,
that was a great movie. Like
so good.
young John, young Demi.
God, I haven't thought about that movie in forever. And as soon as you said that, like, wow.
Diamond in the rough, a forgotten gem of time.
Yeah. And he did that that one Mr. Ed kind of movie called Ted with the talking horse.
Yep.
I told you, I was like, I loved him as a kid.
Oh, God. Yeah. One of these days, I need to go back through all the audio and just do a compilation of Kyle's Bobcat Goldthwait bursts. Oh, man, this has been a blast. Thank you so much, Kylie, for coming into our little corner of the world and being a silly goose with us.
Thank you for inviting me. It was an honor and a surprise. I hope I did it justice.
Just set them up and let it ride.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've been wanting to do this for a long time, though. We've been talking about it. So thank you for, I know it was spur of the moment on the fly. But yeah, this has been great.
I had a blast. We need to do more of these calls. Just I don't know. Should we always record it? Because I got a feeling.
Nope, we shouldn't. Nope.
Nope.
Less evidence in the paper trail there can be is better. Let's just nah.
Oh, well, thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Follow, share. The best thing, as always, you can do for us is to tell your friends about us. If you enjoy us, leave us comments on our socials. We tend to be more active on Instagram, so head over to Instagram. We're working on a lot of great topics coming up. We're working on a lot of things, maybe some merch at some point this year. So yeah, the gooses are cooking.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to that merch.
Maybe that's a t-shirt. My goose is cooked.
I think, either it's a toss-up between my goose is cooked or that'll do, slut. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Aww.